Hi, Mr. Candy here, and we're looking at number lines to inequalities. So how, if we're given a visual representation of a number line, what is the inequality expression? So how do we express this as an inequality? So we can actually do some mathematical work with it. So, first off, let's look here. Given the number line below, write the inequality. So, identify the variable first off. If it doesn't, then you can make one up. I should have included an x on here, so I apologize. So we're identifying our variable as x. Okay, and I'm going to put it in the middle. That way, if it's bigger than, or greater than, or if it's less than, I still can put it on either side. And now we're looking for the circle on the number line. We want to write the number that is above/below the circle on the right side of our variable. Okay, so here we have 1. Okay, so that's step 2. Well, I added this little part in here after just to help you. So if there are ever 2 circles, so if it's one of those problems where we're going to be squished in, or x will be squished in by 2 inequalities operators, so it's going to be bounded on that line, then we want to choose the larger number on our right side just because it's convention, just like our number line, bigger numbers to the right, but that is just a convention. So, step 3, we want to choose the proper inequality sign to put between the number, or numbers. So here, it's an open circle. Okay, so we know it's either, this open circle tells us that it's greater than or less than or greater than, right? Well, what happens? Are the numbers getting bigger or smaller? Well, they're going smaller, so we know that x is less than 1. So, it takes a little bit of common sense and just using what we've already done by talking it out loud. Right? Some of maths is best to just actually say out loud rather than doing calculations. Similarly here, let's label this number line x. I'm going to do the same for example 3. So here we know that x, well, it looks like it's getting bigger, right? So we also, I have -2 as our number because that was step 2. Then it's getting bigger, so it's greater than. And then lastly we want to look is it's shaded in. Okay, it's shaded in, so we know that it's greater than or equal. Example 3, okay, so we put x, and this is where we have 2 numbers. So I had said to you before that if you put the larger number to the right of our variable, so here we'll put 3, over here we'll put -1. Now, here, right, x has to be less than 3, right, because it can take on values of 0, 1, and 2, so it has to be less than 3, and it has to be greater than -1, right? So when you have these, just worry about getting the operators the right way, and then go back after and go, okay, where the circles filled in? Well, just under beside the -1, so we'll put a line under our operator there. Okay, so 5 questions here. Try your best. Pause the video. When you're ready, press play, and I'll go through the answers. Right. Okay, so here, first thing I'm going to do is I'm putting an x to all of these to give myself a variable. So remember, if it's there, use it. If not, add yourself a variable so you can describe to anybody, okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is how I got my inequality. Now, we're doing x, and then, well, are they bigger? What number are we at? We're at 4. Now, are they bigger or smaller? Well, they're smaller, so x is less than, and it's not filled in, so we leave it like that. Question 2, x, what's the number? 1. Are they bigger or smaller? They're bigger, and it's not shaded in, so we leave it like that. Here, we have 2 numbers, so the bigger value to the right, smaller to the left. Now, x is less than 3, so we have to have this one go the same way, because it would not make sense. They cannot go the other way for these if the line connects. Okay, so here, then we have to check, are any of the circles shaded in? They aren't, so we just leave our inequality like that. this one. Interesting. We just have a dot over 1. So, I would take this as x is equal to 1. So just in case you ever did get a kind of a silly question, you know what it actually means. Well, this is just the value x is equal to 1. You won't see this typically in an inequality problem, but you might see it in other areas of maths. And some people don't really show trivial information like this. Okay, very last one. What are our numbers? We have 2, so we write -4. It's on leftmost. 0 is the right. What's our variable? X. So x has to be smaller than 0, bigger than -4. So we write less than 0, greater than -4. And then we checked, one of them is filled in, so we have to indicate that it could also be 0 with the line under